We now have official details about the Avengers Doomsday trailer, and as it turns out, based on everything that we've been hearing, it seems very true that Marvel Studios is going to go full on with a gigantic marketing push for Avengers Doomsday a full year in advance from when the movie comes out. According to a new report from Collider, a lot of what we have been hearing about the Avengers Doomsday trailer is really accurate. They confirmed things here that some insiders have been saying for a while. So let's go over everything that we know right now about the Avengers Doomsday trailer, when to expect it, and what to expect to see when we finally get it. And if you're new and you love Marvel, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest Marvel videos. We're almost to 1 million subscribers. Let's get into it. So the title of this article from Collider is titled, "We Know When the First Avengers Doomsday Trailer Will Arrive, Exclusive." And we'll talk about that exclusive as we go on in this article. But they start by stating, while Avengers Doomsday may not be in theaters until December 2026, it sounds like fans won't have to wait too much longer to see a tease of the movie. Collider has learned from multiple sources that the first footage from the MCU's next big team-up is scheduled to be attached to the latest installment of one of Disney's other blockbuster franchises, Avatar, Fire and Ash. While that decision could change over the next month, if it holds, theater goers will get their first proper look at Robert Downey Jr.'s titanium masked supervillain as soon as December 19th. The timing would be fitting considering James Cameron's third adventure to Pandora is releasing almost exactly 1 year before Doomsday's arrival on December 18th, 2026. They're reporting what we already heard. They claim this is an exclusive, but it's really not, because we've heard from other insiders like Daniel RBK for a couple of weeks now that this is going to be the case. Now, Collider does have really great sources. They talk to Marvel a lot. They have a lot of contacts at Marvel. They know a lot of people inside as well, like people on the set, etc., etc. So it's nice to hear a really big official trade outlet talking about this, because that gives us just that 1% extra confirmation that we needed. Daniel RPK has a really great track record when it comes to when trailers are going to be released. So he was the first to report this, at least according to my knowledge. The exclusive, I guess, is coming from their sources, and they're just going to ignore Daniel RPK, but they do that a lot. But Daniel RPK reported it first. Congrats to him. They continue in this article to state, with Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four First Steps finally premiering this year, the stage is mostly set for Doomsday to begin. Earlier this year, Marvel grabbed everyone's attention all over again when they revealed chairs for the cast of the blockbuster event, which contained a fair few surprises, like the return of many of the 20th Century Fox X-Men. Still, the team has been as secretive as ever about the details of the crossover, even to the stars. And it basically goes on to say, yes, we're going to get basically everybody reprising their role, including the old Fox X-Men. And what's really interesting about this is we've been hearing some pretty cool stories recently from random cast members who are doing random interviews, and they're talking about how this movie really is like a beautiful way to introduce the X-Men into the MCU. And basically what we've been hearing is that it's going to be a beautiful send-off. And essentially, we're talking about the X-Men here, because that's what Kevin Feige wants to do. He started with the X-Men film, the first X-Men film. That's when he got his start with Marvel. And from there, he went on to be in charge of the MCU and became the president of Marvel Studios. But he started with the X-Men, and all of those people who played those roles wanted to be a part of the MCU, but it didn't exist back then. So this is Kevin Feige's, basically it's his swan song for the X-Men. So yeah, it's gonna be kind of beautiful. Let's just hope that not a lot of them die. But Simu Liu, when speaking to Collider, said this when speaking about why he loved superhero movie making. He said, "It's pretty much what you think. I don't want to put words out that will be turned into their own sound bites, but I think it was just an incredibly exciting feeling to know that you were coming back, and then also to get to work with so many incredible people whose body of work I either grew up watching or I greatly, greatly admire. Getting to see them all put on tights and spandex and to play in this beautiful sandbox felt like a love letter to superhero movies in general. So, a love letter to superhero movies. This movie is going to be treated with a lot of care. The Russo brothers care. They weren't going to come back until Robert Downey Jr. asked them for over a year, and they finally had an aha moment with Stephen McFeely, who was writing the movie with them. They weren't going to come back just to do another movie. They're coming back because they had the perfect story. Robert Downey Jr. wasn't just going to come back unless they could do it in a really great way. At least I'd really like to think so. All of the X-Men wouldn't come back either unless it was done in a really great way. So it sounds like it's going to be done well. And also, putting on tights and spandex, it's exactly what we've heard. The X-Men are going to get their comic accurate suits. So expect to see that in the trailer, because based on what we have heard, and now all of it seemingly is confirmed because of this article, the trailer is coming with Avatar: Fire and Ash, and all of the details about the trailer that we've been hearing is most likely true, because there is clearly somewhere out there a source telling people certain information. So we go to what Film Threat said, and they clearly have a source as well, and they were actually the people who reported the very first chair video, which obviously came true. So Film Threat said this about what to expect to see in the trailer. In case you missed it, they state the person who saw it said, talking about the trailer, "It's not finished, but this person was surprised by the amount of footage they showed of Doom in action. This is not a teaser trailer. You're gonna get not just a glimpse of Doom, you're gonna see Doom." The way the character was described in terms of Downey's interpretation is a classic universal monster like the Phantom of the Opera. It's a tragic figure and a broken figure, and part of it is his armor. Doom must have the armor because he has a broken body. It's scarred. He went full universal monster with the interpretation. He needs the suit to actually function. So, based on everything that we've been hearing, and again, they proved themselves to have an accurate source when it came to that chair video, because that eventually did happen. That was confirmed. And now, of course, all this other information is coming out. It seems like it's all coming out at the exact same time. So I would assume that this is true. We're going to get a lot of footage of Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom in action. So I hope to see his sorcery. I hope to see his tech. I don't think, because I saw a few people asking this online or just posting about it, I don't think we're going to get anything about Kang in the trailer. I do think they'll probably address this at some point in time in the movie, especially if, let's say, Robert Downey Jr. has tech that looked a lot like Kang. And I do think he's going to get Kamala Khan's bangles, and I do think he's going to get the 10 rings, and I think he's going to use all of this combined with his armor and sorcery to kind of hold himself together. The big question now is, what exactly caused him to be so scarred? What exactly messed up his body so much that he needs all of these things to hold himself together? Well, one thing that we've heard is that his world, his family, who was on that world as well, his universe, was destroyed by an incursion. So perhaps somehow he managed to survive that incursion, maybe using his mystical powers, maybe using some tech. He was able to save himself, but not his family and not his world. And that's how he's the villain now. That's why he's going throughout the multiverse trying to save it, but also that's why he's trying to kill people who are causing incursions, because that's another thing that we've heard. Also, speaking of that, Christian Harloff has heard that there's going to be a lot of different versions of this trailer. Marvel has those versions right now, and they're debating which ones to put out. That might mean we could get more than one version of the trailer. Ultimately, they'll probably all be released. Ultimately, Marvel might just only release one of them. But he also said that in one of these trailers, Marvel is considering showing Steve and Peggy, which would definitely confirm this theory that, this report that Doom, his universe was destroyed, and now he's essentially seeking vengeance, but also trying to save the multiverse. And he's going about the multiverse trying to kill those people who caused incursions, which, according to some reports, was Steve for going back in time and staying there with Peggy. Either way, it sounds like we're about to get a lot of information about Avengers Doomsday with that first trailer, which now is seemingly confirmed. And the great news is we're going to see a lot of Doom when we finally get that trailer. And honestly, they need to show Doom a lot. They need as much as an example of his powers that they could show on screen as they could possibly get, because a lot of people have complained about the buildup. But I think just having him come out incredibly strong in the first trailer, that'll do the job. That'll get him hyped. But go ahead, let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos. And you can also find us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.